Today I'm going to talk about your rights to speak to a lawyer upon being arrested. The question that people often ask is, do I have a right to speak to a lawyer, and what are the obligations of police to help me speak to a lawyer? The answer is simple. You do have a right to speak to a lawyer, and police do have a positive obligation to help you speak to that lawyer. So, and not only just a lawyer, but your lawyer of choice. So if you have a lawyer in mind, it is the obligation of police to assist you to make that phone call to the lawyer you have in mind, the one that you want to use before there's any questioning done by police. Police are under an obligation not to ask questions until you've had a reasonable opportunity to speak to counsel. Now this comes down to not only your obligation, but their obligation. Your obligation is to be diligent. You've got to actively try to speak to that lawyer. So you have to give the police ways in which a lawyer can be contacted. So if you know a family friend who may have the lawyer's number, give them that information. Give them whatever information they may need to get a hold of counsel. The one phone call myth is just that, a myth. They may need to make multiple phone calls in order for you to speak to that lawyer. So please, when you're arrested, or if you are arrested, if you have a lawyer in mind, make efforts to push the police to make sure you get a chance to contact that lawyer. Now, if you're not able to contact that lawyer, the police are supposed to give you a reasonable time to have contact with that lawyer. Oftentimes, cases are ruled just by leaving a message and not giving you any time to see if that lawyer will call back is not good enough. And the courts will give remedies to individuals where police make those minimal efforts. So make sure you are diligent when you are in a police station to make your best efforts. You're also entitled to speak to a lawyer provided through legal aid, and they can often provide invaluable advice to you as well. This is often the case for people who are not involved in the criminal justice system, do not have a lawyer in mind, but they will have, there's a number and an opportunity to speak to a legal aid lawyer. Take advantage of this. Often I have people say to me, I don't know a lawyer, therefore I didn't call one. Don't do that. If there's an option, any option to speak to a lawyer, take advantage of it. If you don't know a lawyer, there's nothing wrong with speaking to a legal aid lawyer who will provide you advice on how to handle what the police investigation involves and what type of questions the police might ask you. But remember, you must be diligent. If you're not diligent and you simply are passive about your right to speak to a lawyer, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, for you to assert the right that the police ran over your right to speak to counsel. It's only when you're diligent and the police are not that you begin to take advantage of remedies that are available to those people who are not given the opportunity to speak to counsel. So speak to a lawyer. If it's a lawyer of choice, make sure you press that issue. If it's not a lawyer, you don't know a lawyer, force the issue of speaking to a legal aid lawyer and have those conversations before you engage with the police, regardless of the investigation severity, regardless if you feel you need a lawyer. It's always a good idea to speak to a lawyer when you're in police custody. My name is Dan Murphy. I'm a defense lawyer in Edmonton. If you have any questions about how to access a lawyer, what to do in terms of figuring out if you're going to be arrested, which lawyer to speak to, or how to speak to duty counsel or legal aid, shoot me an email. If you have any other questions about any areas of criminal law, shoot me an email as well. And if it's not criminal law, but some other area, I can certainly connect you with another individual. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Goodbye.